Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are all having a good day so far. So I'm glad that you are watching this video because this is our lesson for today. So let's go through this. So first of all, before we get into it, have you submitted your homework? Assignments 72, 73, and 74 are due. I will be checking this later on today, so please make sure that you have handed these assignments in. Okay? Okay. Now, for today, what are we going to do in this lesson? The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to have a lesson on section 75. That's the first thing. Then we're going to review for your test tomorrow, and then you will have some time at the end to work on assignment 75. Okay, so that's what our game plan is for today. Please do not mind my barking dog in the background. But let's get started. So if you could please open your book to page 211, that would be. So page 211, please. All right, so we're going to see a story here where this is going to be where Elijah is going to appoint Elisha his successor. Remember that when Elijah came back from his little journey away, when he, had some doubts, he met this man named Elisha. And I did kind of preview for you yesterday that Elisha is going to become his predecessor. Okay, so that's where this story takes place. So after they have encountered each other, Elijah and Elisha are going to journey together, and they're going to get to the Jordan River. And at the Jordan River, Elijah is actually going to part the Jordan River, and the two of them, Elijah and Elisha, are going to cross together. What is about to happen is in chapter 2, verse 1, you can see here that the Lord is about, to take Elijah up to heaven in a whirlwind. So we're going to get to this in a little bit. It's kind of like a foreshadowing of what's going to happen, though, so you can see that. So before Elijah is going to be taken up to heaven. Now, guys, be careful. I did not say he dies. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I said before he's taken up to heaven. And after Elijah and Elisha have just crossed the Jordan River into the promised land, right? This is what's going to happen. So we look here at verse 8. Elijah took his mantle. Now, his mantle is a cloak. A mantle is a cloak. So we're just going to do like this. That's kind of, whatever. We'll write like this. It is a cloak, okay? So he takes his cloak, rolled it up, and struck the water, and then divided and the two of them crossed, like I said had happened. When they had crossed over, notice what Elijah asks Elisha. Request whatever I might do for you before I am taken from you. So at this point, Elijah is making it known to Elisha that he is leaving. And he asks Elisha what it is that he can do for him before he goes. Okay? Notice what Elisha answers. May I receive a double portion of your spirit? What is he asking? What does this mean? It means, looking back, basically, just as how a firstborn son would inherit a double portion of the first father's property, that's what Elisha is asking for. So basically, to be able to do what Elijah can do as a prophet, but potentially even to be as good, if not better. He's not asking to be greater than Elijah, not saying I want to be better than you, but saying I want to be able to do your job and do it to the best of my ability and do it as big and possible as I can, being the follower of you. That's basically what he is saying. Okay, now Elijah does say you have asked for something not easy, but if you see me taken up from you, your wish will be granted. Otherwise not. So Elijah doesn't even really know whether Elisha is going to receive this. But then in verse 11, as they walked on still conversing, a fiery chariot and fiery horses came between the two of them, and Elijah went up to heaven in a whirlwind, and Elisha saw it happen. So lots to talk about here. So first of all, Elisha does see it happen, so we know he is going to receive the double portion of that spirit. So that we can say for sure. But let's talk about this fiery chariot, okay? Basically, Elijah does not die. He is taken to heaven in this horse-drawn carriage, basically, okay, that's fiery in all of this. And that is where Elijah goes. Now, Elisha is going to become the prophet now. Elisha is going to pick up Elijah's cloak or mantle, okay, his prophetic cloak, which is a sign that what's going to happen here is that Elisha has taken over and that spirit has passed from Elijah to Elisha. Elisha then uses that mantle to divide the Jordan River, just as Elijah had just done. Okay, so he starts off by basically being the same prophet. And Elisha, we are going to see, is going to actually perform many of the same miracles that Elijah had done. Okay, so that's the story here of Elijah and Elisha. There's a lot more to go with this. So let's go to the next page of your book. Okay, so on the next page of your book, you see that I have some commentary highlighted. What I have highlighted is basically what we just went over together, okay? But what I do want to talk to you about is, first of all, is this Catholic Faith Facts pop-up, which is right here. Like we said, Elijah and Elisha are very similar in their ministry, okay? Elisha had learned from Elijah as he was his apprentice before Elijah was taken to heaven in a fiery chariot. They're both going to be very courageous. They're going to both challenge kings, royal authority. They're going to work miracles. And as it says here, neither left a written record. Okay, so these are all stories that have been passed down. Okay, now this box right here is so super important. Okay. So I said to you before that Elijah is taken away in a fiery chariot. He doesn't die, okay? He gets taken to heaven. So the question is, where did he go, and is he coming back? Well, the prophet Malachi actually has a very intriguing prophecy with regards to this, okay? And he says, "See, I will send you the prophet Elijah before that great and dreadful day of the Lord comes." It is believed that that prophecy of Malachi is fulfilled in the Gospel of Matthew, when Jesus tells the Pharisees and the scribes that Elijah has already returned. How has Elijah returned? It is believed that St. John the Baptist is Elijah returned, but that the people fail to realize it. When we get to the New Testament in a few weeks, we're going to look at St. John the Baptist, and I think a lot more of this will come into focus. But before we get there, we can look here at a couple of things that go along with John the Baptist's ministry, and to see how, he was Elijah. First of all, God himself predicts that John's work will be like that of Elijah. He dressed like Elijah. Like Elijah, John the Baptist preached in the wilderness. Both men preached a message of repentance, and both men withstood kings and had high-profile enemies. It is very, very likely that this is who this is. And we, like I said, when we get to the New Testament, we will talk more and more about this, and it'll make even more sense to you. Okay? All right, so what I want you to do now is open up your notes. I know that your notes are pretty much already filled in, so there's not a lot that we have to do. There's just a couple of things that I want to go over with you. So go to that right now. Okay, so like I said, you already have these notes in your book. So we don't really have to, or I should say in your notes, we don't really have to do too much here with this. The one thing I do want to add, though, is the name Elijah means Yahweh is my God. Make sure you know that, okay? Yahweh is my God. So looking back at some things that we talked about yesterday in class, okay, we talked about the contest at Mount Carmel, where how long will you go limping with two different opinions? That was the question of Baal or God. Okay, and God rains down fire. Oops. There we go. Okay, and remember that the people do wind up repenting. All right, remember that Elijah questions himself as a prophet. And remember that it's in God's whisper that he is called back. Remember, he goes off, he hides in a cave. There's the thunder, there's the fire, there's the wind, but it's in God's whisper that God tells him, no, you are a great prophet. Get back there. Okay. Now remember, he fled because Jezebel had wanted to kill him. Okay. But he goes back and he deals with Jezebel and Ahab afterwards. Remember that Jezebel has arranged the death of Naboth. Okay. Ahab takes over the vineyard. Remember the story that we talked about with regards to Jezebel, that the dogs will eat her when she falls out the window? That's what this picture is over here. This one, it's kind of funny if you look at it. But remember, shockingly, Ahab repents. Okay, remember that shockingly, Ahab repents. And then today we picked up our story with Elisha, which you can see here that the name Elisha down here, okay, means God saves. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay, Elisha means God saves. Remember that Elisha succeeds Elijah after Elijah's taken up to heaven in that fiery chariot. Elisha asks for a double share of his spirit, and he is a miracle worker similar to Elijah. Okay, the first thing he does is he parts the Jordan River. Remember to do with this. The question is John the Baptist Elijah? And the question is probably yes. Okay. All right, so I'll give you guys another minute or so to copy all these down. Now, again, you can always go back and rewatch this, or you can pause it even right now and write everything down. Okay, but I'll give you a minute to do this. Okay, so let's talk about your test tomorrow. Right? So your test tomorrow, let's just, there we go. All right, so test Wednesday, February 10th. Okay, it is on Kingdom Established and Kingdom Divided. Okay, which is sections 61 through 75. All right. It is going to be all multiple choice, or all, like multiple choice, true and false, all those things. Okay, all multiple choice. And it's going to be 50 questions. Okay, and you'll see your normal, what you normally see. True and false, multiple choice, matching. Okay, you'll see all of those. Now, I have put into your Schoology already. Okay, I have put your PDF quizzes and a Quizlet. It is already in there. It went in yesterday afternoon. Okay, use those to study. Use the quizzes. Use all of it. If you have any questions regarding the test, please feel free to email me, okay, and ask me. I know we're not together, so please just feel free to ask me any questions that you may have, okay? All right, so now for the remainder of class, you are going to work on assignment number 75. That is your homework. Finish it now. It's a good review. But again, any questions, email. Okay? Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow, and we will be good to go. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you then. Bye.